Hello, everyone. Welcome to your practice. My name is Tessa. Thank you so much for being here. If you do have a prop of some sort to sit on top of, could be a cushion or blocks or a chair or a stool, I recommend having something to elevate the sits bones. So when you sit down here, the goal is that the knees can start to relax. The hips can start to relax so that the knees can just soften below the line of the hips. So my knees aren't up here and I'm not increasing tension at my hip joint, but rather I'm relaxing tension at my hip joint. Another way to sit, if it's not comfortable to sit cross-legged like I am, is to I'll turn to the side so you can see, to place maybe a prop between the ankle bones and then prop the sits bones this way. So shins down, tops of the feet down, and toes pointed straight back. There's just so many different ways to sit, and there's not like one correct way to sit versus another. It's really what works best for your body and your joints that I recommend. So once you find that comfortable seat, we'll take a few minutes here to just place the hands on tops of the thighs, soften the elbows, let the shoulders relax, kind of tilt the body forward and backward a few times so you can get a sense of the spine as it passes through this center line where there's more ease and less effort. I kind of like to jut my chin forward as I come forward and then pull my chin in as I come back. So the neck and the head's part of this equation of finding that ease in the spine. And then once you do find that center, just start to settle in there. I'll invite you to close the eyes if that feels comfortable, if it calls to you. Start to breathe a little bit deeper if you can. Just start to become aware of the sensation of the breath as it moves in through the nose, if you're able to inhale through the nose. And maybe exhale through the nose. So the invitation is to become aware of the quality and the texture of the breath. So what does that mean? There's a depth to the breath, or maybe there's a shallowness to the breath as it relates to the quality. And then the texture of the breath, I like to think of as the sensation of the air moving through the nostrils, down the back of the throat, expanding across the rib cage. And then the sensation as you exhale, maybe it's out through the nose again. Can you feel that air pass through the nasal passageway? There's a slight difference in temperature. As you inhale, it's slightly cooler. As you exhale, it tends to be slightly warmer. So tuning into the qualities of the breath. Let's take about 3 more breaths here, just focusing in. We take this time to arrive into the practice with intention. If you have an intention, a particular intention you'd like to set, you could do that now. You can just maybe repeat something internally to yourself. Maybe it's a phrase or an image comes to mind, or just a single word. And the hope or the invitation again is to take that intention with you into your practice and then off of your mat out into your day. We'll start by moving the body a little bit, just leading with the chin. We'll dip the chin down into the chest, breathe into the back of the shoulders, back of the neck. And then we'll lift the chin up towards the ceiling, opening the throat. So continue to breathe, if you can, in and out through your nose as you do this. In the context of vinyasa, the actual word of vinyasa could be translated in the way of breath to movement. So you might even try to synchronize that here. The inhale, maybe you lift the chin up. And the exhale, maybe you pull the chin down. Try that twice more. And then come back through neutral, so the chin's like about parallel with the floor. And we'll start to draw circles. So ear to one side, down through center, opposite ear to opposite side, and then you might pull the chin up through center, opening the throat to complete that 360-degree motion with the neck and the head. So just choose one direction to roll the head around in. We'll go in this same direction 3 more rounds. Keep your shoulders relaxed, elbows soft. No tension in the wrist or the fingers. And come back through center, chin parallel. Breathe in, grow tall. And then exhale, opposite ear, opposite shoulder. So you're just starting to go in the opposite pattern, rolling through the neck. You might start to bring your awareness to any sounds that the neck is making as you move around in this circle. Any cracking, any popping. And it doesn't have to be really extreme, right? So just noticing what is there, if it's subtle or not so subtle. Make 3 more circles. Good, and then come back through center. Big breath in, grow tall through the crown of the head. Big breath out, settle into your seat. We'll come off of that seat. We can place the prop that we were sitting on off to the side and come to hands and knees. We're going to move through a few rounds of cat-cow, and in this variation of cat-cow, I want you to think about playing with the rotation of the wrists. So any kind of rotation you want. I'm going to start off by flipping my palms up to face my armpits, and my fingertips are pointing back towards my knees. And if there's a lot of tension in the wrist, sometimes it's more accessible to just do one wrist at a time. And then you can layer on your cat-cow, articulation of the spine, the flexing and extending of the vertebrae from the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the head. And then with a wrist, if you're doing one hand at a time, you can flip that out, opposite hand. And then both palms plant on the mat, and then see maybe about turning the fingertips out to the sides and walking the fingertips back towards the knees, just to the best of your ability with your rotation of the wrist. So the wrists are pointing forward, fingertips are pointing back, palms of the hands are flat on the mat if you can. And in this way, I like to add a little bit of rocking sensation forward and backward. So I kind of roll the weight into the knuckle mounds and let my heels of my hands lift as I move in and out of cat-cow. And if all of that feels like way too much is going on, just keep it simple. Cat-cow or rocking the weight forward and backward. Whatever you're doing, it is enough. Wherever your body is today is exactly where it needs to be. Let's sit back on our heels for a moment. Just roll out the wrists in both directions. And then maybe just shake the hands side to side. Feel a little blood flow, oxygen into those joints. They do so much work for us. And then start to shake them front and back, kind of like you're waving vigorously with both hands. And then let your hands drop. Shake, shake, shake the whole arm. And then bring the palms forward, curling the toes under. Spread your fingers wide. Press into the hands as you lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Relax your head between your biceps. Bend your knees right and left. Get a sense of the whole palm rooting into the mat. So if the weight's all the way to the pinky edge of the palm, can you get a little bit more weight to the inner edge of the palm? And even engage your fingertips. It's like your fingertips are clawing the mat. Bending knees right and left if you like. A couple more breaths here. A couple things we're doing in our downward facing dog. Number one, opening up the posterior chain of the body. So you're finding a little bit of length, a little bit of stretch. And you're also strengthening the shoulders, the arms, the hands, really strengthening for the upper body, downward facing dog. So you're actively pressing the floor away with the palms of the hands. It's not passive. You let both heels settle, let them be heavy. They don't have to touch the mat. That's not the goal. Just let them be heavy. Let the head relax. Can you kind of tuck the chin in so you're looking up towards the thigh bones or even maybe towards the belly button? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's inhale and shift forward into high plank and then pause there for a moment. Reach back through your heel bones and forward through the crown of the head. There's a slight round to the upper back as you again anchor down into the palms of the hands. You're resisting the floor away. Pressing into those hands, lift the hips up and back. Find downward facing dog once more. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. 2 more breaths, down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your heel bones high, bend your knees deep. Start to walk your feet forward until you come into a forward fold at the top of the mat. So we're increasing the stretch sensation along the posterior chain. That is your back body. You can bend the knees generously here, let the belly rest on the thighs, and continue to let the head be heavy. Maybe you start to rock the weight forward and backward on the feet. Just get a sense of the whole foot. We'll take an inhale breath. Walk the fingertips up to the shins, lengthen the heart forward. You're finding a halfway lift in the spine. At the same time, you're engaging your quadriceps away from your knees, so your legs are nice and strong here. Your navel's tucked into the spine. And this is your inhale breath, your Ardha Uttanasana. That means halfway lift. Your exhale, refold. Uttanasana just means forward fold. Pressing into the feet, reach your arms forward and up, coming all the way up into Utthita Hasta Uttanasana. Just means standing tall with your arms overhead. And then exhale, hands to the heart. Samastiti means this is where we begin. So we'll add a little bit of breath to movement, a little bit of flow. We're not going to go fast. We're going to move mindfully with the breath. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips to the mat. Step your right foot back and then right knee to the mat. Back toes can be tucked or they can untuck. I want you to press down into your front left heel. Lift up and out of the waist as you stretch your arms forward and up. And then really commit to pressing down into that left heel. Back the hips up just a tad bit. See if you can keep that sensation of lift and stretch across the front of the right thigh as you move the hips forward and down. Big breath in here. And exhaling, plant the palms. And step back, Downward facing dog. Relax your head in your down dog. Commit to strong grip in the hands. Press the floor away. From your down dog, inhale, right leg lifts up and back. Doesn't matter how high it goes, just feel a stretch sensation. Whatever it looks like, it's okay. Reach through those right toes. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Move the right foot forward, top of the mat between the hands, and set your left knee down. Again, the back toes can be curled under, or you can come to the back, the top of the back foot, pressing into that right heel bone, stretch the arms forward and up. So Anjaneyasana means low lunge. Back those hips up a little bit, feel that front of the left thigh engage and stretch at the same time. See if you can keep that as you press into your front right heel and move the hips forward and down. Doesn't have to be a big movement. Find the sensation. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach the hands forward, fingertips to the mat, and then step the left foot forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in, relax your head. Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Utthita Hasta Uttanasana. Exhale, hands to heart, Samastiti. We'll move through that sequence once more, leading with the left side. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, find your halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, refold, fingertips to the mat, stepping your left foot back. Option to leave that left knee lifted or set it down, your choice. As you press into that front right heel bone, arms sweep forward and up. So another round of low lunge, or it could be lifted lunge. Breathe in, lift up through the torso, reach through the fingertips. Breathe out, settle a little deeper into the hips. Your next inhale, reach the hands forward, plant the palms. Step that right foot back, downward facing dog. Relax your head here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhale, sweep your left leg high. And high is relative to you and your body. The hamstrings are tight, no big deal. You're just reaching that left leg up and back to the best of your own ability, finding the stretch sensation. One more breath in here, reach through those left toes. And then exhale, hug the left knee into the chest. Plant the foot between the hands. Second round of low lunge or high lunge. Pressing into that left heel bone, sweep the arms forward and up. Whoop. Really reach through those fingertips. Find that torso nice and lifted as you settle into the hips. Big breath in here. Big breath out. Reach the arms forward, just to the fingertips, and then step that right foot forward. Inhale here, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, refold. Relax your head here for a few moments. Take an extra breath in Uttanasana, forward fold. On your inhale, pressing into your heel bones, sweep the arms forward. Let that carry you all the way to standing. Arms overhead, deep breath in. On your exhale, pull your elbows wide, press your hips forward, and hug your navel into your spine. Little bit of a back bend. Inhale, reach your arms forward and up. Exhale, we'll fold in. So we'll add on to our flow. We'll inhale, we'll halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips to the mat. Step your right foot back. Come up to high lunge, press into your left heel, sweep the arms forward and up. That right back leg is active and engaged. Deep breath in here. And then on your breath out, lean your torso forward, sweep your arms down and back. It's almost like you're turning your body into an airplane that's about ready to take off. but you're staying firmly grounded through that left heel bone and the ball mound of the right foot. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Sweep the arms up, lift the torso up. And then exhale, open up into warrior two. So the back heel spins flat, arms stretch out wide, torso turns to the width of your mat. Left knee is deeply bent. Gaze is looking over the front middle fingers. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Press your left leg towards straight. And then just bring your hands to your hips and start to move the hips side to side. See if you can create a little bit more space deep within the hip sockets as you just find this little kind of wag of the hips right to left. Good, now re-extend your arms wide, keeping both legs towards straight. Left fingertips reach down towards left shin or the floor, or if you have a prop there, you can place the hand on a prop. As the right arm reaches up, you're coming into Trikonasana triangle pose. Take the gaze down at the left foot and then reach your right hand back. So there's a little gentle stretch along the right shoulder, right side of the neck. And then as you lift your right arm back up towards the ceiling, look up at the right fingertips. We'll just do that a few times with the right arm. Right arm stretches back behind you, and then turn your gaze towards your left foot. Twice more. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, look down, reach back. One more time. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, look back. Look down and reach back. And let that pull you all the way back up to warrior two. Windmill both hands down, framing out that left foot. Lift the right heel, you're in a low lunge. Stepping into high plank, pause in your high plank. Get really long and strong through the body. Shift forward onto the tippy toes. Lower all the way down onto your belly with or without the help of the knees. Come to the tops of the feet, engage your quadriceps here. Squeeze your elbows tight into the body. Press into the hands, tops of the feet, lift the heart, low cobra. Exhale, look right, lower your left cheek to the mat. Inhale, press your way up through center, low cobra. Exhale, look left, lower your right cheek to the mat. One more time to each side, inhaling through center. Exhale, look right. Inhale through center. Exhale, look left. Inhale through center, press up to hands and knees. Your choice, all the way back to child's pose or up and back to downward facing dog. We'll take 3 breath cycles here to reset, recalibrate, and kind of consider this a gentle pause as like a returning home. Home to the breath. So one more inhale here. Good, and if you're in child's pose like I am, we'll meet up in down dog. And from down dog, we'll reach our right leg up and back, reach through those right toes. Exhale, hug your right knee into your chest, right foot between the hands. Inhale, find a halfway lift here in this lunge, fingertips on the mat, reaching the heart forward, gazing down at the floor. And can you step that left foot forward to meet the right foot, folding over the legs, Uttanasana. Relax your head, let the back of the neck be long. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, refold. Press into those heel bones, engage the quadriceps, sweep the arms forward and up, come all the way to standing, arms overhead. And exhale, pull your elbows wide. Option to keep the elbows wide like this, or if it's accessible, you can reach the hands back, palms face one another, elbows bend as you interlace your fingers to the webbing, and then maybe you stretch out through the arms. Either way, we're going to forward fold from here. So if that bind doesn't work for you, maybe the hands on the waist and elbows just reaching back. Little soft bend in the knees as you fold over the legs. Relax the head, Uttanasana. If you still got that bind, release it. Fingertips to the shins, find a halfway lift. Breath in. Breath out, fold. Fingertips to the mat. And step your left foot back. Rise up to crescent lunge, pressing strongly into that right heel bone and the ball mound of the left foot. Torso reaching up, fingertips reaching up. Settle into the hips. So keep the legs as they are. Just start to reach forward with the torso and sweep the arms down and back, like you're that airplane about ready to take off. The weight is still equally balanced between right foot and left foot. Breath in, breath out. Inhale, arms forward and up, crescent lunge. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Take a moment here, pause, reaching arms to opposite sides of the mat, broadening across the chest, and then you can take the gaze forward over the right middle finger. Press that right leg towards straight. Maybe take your hands to your hips, and then just kind of tick-tock the hips side to side. Just get a sense of your hips in this position with the feet how they are. If you need to adjust the feet, it's kind of nice sometimes, I think, to take a smaller or a shorter stance in Trikonasana, especially if you feel like hamstrings are tight, hips are tight, and you want to be mindful of those joints. Okay, let's re-extend the arms. Breathe in. You're going to reach forward and down with that right hand. Breathe out. You can rest the right hand on a shin or a block or the floor as you extend that left arm up towards the ceiling. Both legs are active here. Don't forget about that back left foot. Let's add on the left arm. The left arm reaches back as the gaze moves down towards the right foot. So a couple times with the arm moving. Inhale, look up, reach up with that left arm. Exhale, look down and reach back. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, look down, reach back. Twice more on your own with your breath. Vinyasa, breath to movement. If you feel a little bit wobbly here when you move your gaze, you're not alone. It's a normal part of this movement practice. Next time that left hand reaches back, it's going to pull you all the way back up into warrior two. Bending that front knee, settling in, breathe in, breathe out. Let's windmill both the hands forward, so you're framing out that right foot, top of the mat, lifting that left heel bone, and step back into high plank. Pause, breathe. Shift forward onto those toes, option to come all the way to the belly or just bend the elbows halfway. And then if you're ready for it, inhale, find upward facing dog. Upward facing dog, a little different than low cobra in that lower body is really active here. So knees are lifted, quadriceps are engaged, away from the mat. And then when you're ready for it, exhaling, either set the knees down for child's pose, hips to heels, or curl the toes under, pressing the hips up and back for downward facing dog. 3 breath cycles. Option to open the mouth, stick out the tongue as you exhale. Twice more. Last exhalation here. If you're up and down dog, meet me in child's pose. From child's pose, shift forward, tabletop. Come to your right fingertips. Inhale, stretch your left arm open towards the ceiling. And then on your exhale, tuck your left arm underneath all the way to the mat. Left shoulder relaxes to the mat, and then right arm can stretch up and overhead. We'll take 3 breaths here. A little bit of thoracic rotation, scapula stretch. Bring that right palm back underneath the right shoulder. Press into the hand, tabletop. Come to your left fingertips. Inhale, right arm reaches high. And then exhale, tuck that right arm underneath the body. Set the right shoulder down to the mat. And then maybe extend that left arm forward. 3 breaths here. Left palm in front of the face, press down. Come back to tabletop. And then from your tabletop, we'll come all the way onto the back. Or if you want to return to your upright seat, we're going to take 1 minute to end our practice in stillness. Again, it could be an upright seat if you're supporting your spine and if it's easeful for you to sit upright, or traditional Shavasana, laying on your back. Option to support the backs of your knees with a prop if you have it. Either way, let's roll the shoulders down the back, slightly tilt the chin in towards the chest. If you're stretching your legs out, flex your toes towards your face, and then let your feet flop open. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth, exhale the air out. Let go of any tension, any stress in the body. Let's take 1 minute here to settle into silence and stillness to close out our practice. If you have more time to spare in your day, feel free to stay in your meditation or Shavasana longer. If you need to move on, start to awaken the fingertips, the toes. If you're on your back, when you're ready, you can stretch your arms overhead, breathe into the length of the body. And then rolling off to a side to press it up to an upright seat. We'll just briefly fold our hands together at the heart, bow the chin into the chest. Take a moment to honor your practice, your effort with reverence and gratitude to all of our teachers, past, present, future, to the teacher within your own heart. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed your practice. I hope you're feeling good. Please take care of yourselves and come back again soon. Be well.